What if aging doesn't start when you spot your first gray hair, or when your knees start negotiating with you every time you crouch? What if it actually begins at 30, with no fanfare, no warning, and no commemorative card from your mitochondria? For many, the first organ system to show signs of wear and tear isn't the skin or the joints, it's the adrenal glands. And unlike the sagging you can see in the mirror, this decline is quiet, hormonal, and astonishingly early. The adrenal glands, those two tiny hat-shaped structures sitting above your kidneys, are the body's master regulators of stress, energy, metabolism, and mood. They produce vital hormones like cortisol, DHEA, adrenaline, and aldosterone, each with its own role in keeping you functioning like a competent adult. But around your 30th birthday, something begins to shift. You don't necessarily feel old, but you might feel off. Like your brain is buffering more often, your sleep is mysteriously less refreshing, and you suddenly get irrationally irritated by the sound of people chewing. It's not burnout. It might be your adrenals waving a very polite, very quiet white flag. This early decline, often dismissed as just stress or normal adulting, may actually be the first signal that your hormone production is starting to wobble. Cortisol, which helps regulate your circadian rhythm and blood sugar, begins losing its beautiful, predictable daily rhythm. You stop getting that crisp surge in the morning that helps you leap into the day, and instead, you feel like you're dragging a mattress through molasses until noon. By evening, when cortisol should drop to make way for sleep, your brain decides it's the perfect time to relive every embarrassing thing you've ever said on a first date. Meanwhile, DHEA, a hormone that helps buffer the negative effects of stress and supports everything from libido to lean muscle mass, also begins a slow decline in your 30s. This drop isn't dramatic at first, but it's enough to start chipping away at your resilience. You don't recover from workouts or emotional stressors quite as well. Your mood gets flatter, your patience thinner, and your waistline weirdly stubborn, even if your eating habits haven't changed. That's because the adrenal system has its fingers in many pies: metabolism, fat storage, inflammation, even your immune response. When it starts fraying, so do you. The adrenal decline also plays puppet master with other hormones. Thyroid function can falter, estrogen and progesterone can get unbalanced, and even testosterone can take a hit in both men and women. The result? A slow, quiet hormonal unraveling that looks a lot like normal life but feels increasingly out of sync. This is how many people in their 30s and early 40s find themselves exhausted but wired, gaining weight despite eating clean, and waking up at 3 a.m. for no clear reason other than "my body hates me." And here's the kicker. Because these changes aren't visible in the way wrinkles or graying hair are, they often go unnoticed or misattributed. Your blood work may look fine. Your doctor may tell you it's just stress. But your body knows something has shifted. You're not falling apart yet, but the scaffolding is starting to loosen. Fortunately, this early unraveling isn't irreversible. It's more like a system needing recalibration. Sleep, of course, is ground zero. Not the kind of sleep where you scroll until midnight and pass out with one eye still twitching, but deep, regular, unbroken rest. Nutrition also plays a starring role, stabilizing blood sugar with real food, cutting back on stimulants and alcohol, and adding in adrenal supportive nutrients like magnesium, B5, and adaptogens. Movement helps, but not the kind that wrecks you. Your adrenals don't want boot camp. They want rhythm, consistency, and less panic in your playlist. This isn't about coddling your body. It's about finally listening to it. Aging doesn't begin when you look older. It begins when your internal systems, quietly, dutifully, start losing efficiency. The adrenal glands are often first to show strain because they're first responders to everything you do, feel, and even think. They're your biological crisis managers. And by your 30s, they've already seen some stuff. So if you're in that weird in-between decade, technically young, but secretly feeling like you're running on low battery, you're not broken. You're early. Early to the aging process, yes, but also early enough to change its course. Before your hair grays, before your joints protest, before your systems really start to slip, you have a window. And it opens with a whisper, not a scream.